Hi, my name is Frances Harris. I'm a teacher and DJ. I graduated from Sacramento High School and went on to UCLA to get my bachelor's in English and then Long Island University to get my master's in special education.
So, at what moment did you realize what you wanted to do with your life?
I still feel like I'm realizing those moments every day.
So, in the decision to even in the decision to do what you majored in at UCLA, or even the decision to get your master's in special education, what made you want to do those things?
Okay, so yeah, it's funny, like, the reason that I ended up becoming an English major, although I'm a math teacher now, and hold on a second. Okay, sorry. They really use their walkie at this school. Like, they be like, 10-4.
Hey, teaching never stops.
It really doesn't. I became an English major. It's really funny. But Mr. Jones, our 12th grade teacher, he was really pivotal in me having confidence in ELA and English. Like, I remember when we did, like, I had him for 11th grade, and I don't even remember how I did in his class, but I remember when I had him for 12th grade, like, he came in the middle of the year, and we wrote papers. And I remember, like, the paper we did when he first came into the classroom, he was like talking bad about everyone. He was just like, I don't know what y'all been doing. Like, I had y'all last year and y'all went 5 steps back. And I remember I was like happy because I didn't do a paper. I actually did a project. And he was just like, y'all projects was shit too. So like, I don't know if you learned anything. Who taught y'all this last year? And so when it was time to do the paper, like, I was feeling a lot of pressure because he like was talking so bad about us, and I had him the year before. And so he literally came up to me, like, quietly, but enough to, like, Willie heard and, like, Fred heard. And basically he was like, your writing has improved so much. Like, you should be an English major. Like, he, like, actually said those. I know. And it's like, knowing Mr. Jones and how crazy he was, like, those words, like, they lit a fire in me. I didn't know that I wanted to be an English major when I got to UCLA. Like, I think I wanted to be a doctor when I got to college. But I was like, no, when I got there. And I was just finding my way. And then those words that he said to me really, like, when I say they, like, shaped me, I could have done whatever, but it was that, like, yo, you did really good. You should pursue this. That kind of, like, kept me, it was in the back of my mind. And it just basically, like, I kept taking English classes and I kept doing really well. And I was like, oh, I'll just make it my major. And like, as far as me being an educator, I feel like that was something that was always in me. I always was the kid in class that would finish their work first and then help out people. Like, I didn't understand. Sometimes, like, I would help my friends better than the teacher could help them because I could just see where they were confused. Like, I just saw how it was going over their heads. And I remember in 4th grade, my teacher was like, that's when I was kind of like my first bad stench when I was like talking back and stuff. And my teacher was just like, it's like, I can't fight with her because she's just as valuable in the classroom as I am, but it's like, it's my classroom. And just like moments like that, like, stayed with me throughout my life. And so when I got to New York, or when I was graduating from college, I was basically moved to New York because I like broke up with the guy I was dating in college, and I just wanted to go so far from LA. And I was like, I knew I wanted to go to New York, but I didn't know like what I was gonna do out here. I just knew I wanted to be here. And then when I saw like the teaching fellowship, I was like, oh, I'll do that for a couple of years. Like, cool. And that's how I like did the New York Teaching Fellowship. It's a master's program. I still have to finish like but I was so done with it. When I was done, I just like stopped. But just like following like passions, I guess,
Following passions. So yeah, I think as a woman, what do you think made you? With that being said, like, what is somebody that motivates you in those weak moments, especially in being a woman, being an emotional being, wanting love and affection, but to still continue to thrive and keep going?
You know, like in a year, I'll probably have a whole different answer. But today, I've been actually meditating a lot. And I used to meditate in college, like, I don't know how or where, but it got really popular amongst like my friends and my group. And then for some reason, I got away from it. And lately, I've been listening to this woman named Abraham Hicks. Her real name is Esther Hicks, but her, like, basically, she turns into like a spiritual being after she, like, does this, like, breathing thing for like 17 seconds. And then she's, like, kind of like named her own spiritual being Abraham. And I like can listen to her nonstop all day on YouTube, like just over and over and over and over and over and over. And like that's today. A year ago, I was listening to Lisa Nichols. She's like a big motivation coach. It's so important for me. Like I was just telling myself that today. Like it's so important for me to have that. Like you know, I find different things. I love Oprah. Like, there was a time where I was listening to Oprah. Like, I'll just type Oprah motivation, and I'll just let it play in the background as I'm doing my dishes or as I'm doing something. And, you know, just, like, trying to figure out who I love the most as far as, like, their life. And then, and not even Abraham Hicks, but just, like, sometimes people could tell you the same message, but how they say it is just so different. And, you know, like one thing that I love about Oprah's message is like she talks about making your personality match with your dreams and like you don't have to change who you are to find the perfect life. And I love that because I feel like so many like things want they want you to change and do this and that and it's just exhausting.
It is, right. Being a woman in general, I feel like there's so much always to keep up with and making sure that you're doing this, eating that, you know, so I think in just who you are, what do you think you've learned the most? What do you think you've learned the most just about staying true to who you are?
My biggest lesson is that I've learned recently is to do what makes me feel good. Don't worry about what I manifest. Don't worry about the end result. Don't worry about what other people are going to do. Just what makes me smile. Like, that is like a full-time job because, you know, there's so much. So I realized if I can just stay connected to my internal, no, Francis, you don't like that. Like, you know, just, and you'll be surprised how much as women we compromise on a day-to-day. From food to TV shows to you can just find yourself like being boxed out into like a space that's not even you at all. Like, you know? But it's because like for this person you're doing this and this person you're doing that and this and this. And so you're like tied up. And I've been dating like that. I've been in spaces where I'm working like that. And like sometimes people like my coworker at my job, he's like, yo, you're such a bitch, but they don't even say nothing to you. And I'm like I have this like what you can do is fire me, like, and I'll just go get a new job. Like, you can't kill me because I'm not gonna agree with you, and you can't demonize me for not agreeing with you because I've worked for enough people to know that somebody loves how I'm doing something. You know, you might not like it, but there's a whole other person that would like die to be around me. So I can't move based on how you feel. I can only move on how I feel. And I think I'm old enough to just know that people are so fickle. So I can only be with myself all day. So I can only worry about my own feelings. And it's selfish sometimes when you're dealing with people. But it's like those people that want you to change, they're being selfish because they want you to do something for them. You know? So what I've learned is like, you know, be humble, love people. And usually like my well-being is going to not just be for myself, but I want my friends to win. I want everybody, you know, so me feeling good is not going to be something that harms other people, but I have to make sure that I'm clear on what are my intentions, what is it that I want, so that I'm at least able to communicate when how I feel is different from what you want. And that's been like my biggest thing lately.
Okay. 2 more questions. One, something that's trending now. What do you think about what Ayesha Curry said and being in the space of being married to an athlete and then feeling
anybody who's ever dated a popular athlete, like that's totally what she said is any girl's feeling. Like, you date these guys and girls are so bold, they throw themselves like in front of your face to the point where you're like, do I need to fight this bitch? Like, what is she doing? But guys are not going to do that. They're not going to disrespect Stephen Curry. So it's like, as much love and attention that guys may want to show her, they'll never do that because it's different for men and women. But how people reacted to her, it made me think like, what she said is totally like, I guess it sucks that we're in a place where we can't be that honest. But like, I've dated guys that are like, I guess I dated a lot of athlete guys, but like, I knew that I always could get guys too. So I guess a lot of people are just like, girl, do you not know how beautiful you are? And I guess like that question comes there. But like, I had to go off on so many people, so many guys. This one guy was like, that's the same as if I compliment a girl and then I get sexual harassment. I was like, how is that the same at all? No, he had a whole story, and I thought it was going to actually go somewhere. He was like, and then I get to work, and basically, if I compliment her, then I lose my job, then I lose my wife. Because he started going, like, I'm like, that's really how y'all really feel? So it's just one of the things where it's like, okay, she's dating this super popular guy and gets no attention or no play, and that's kind of weird because you know that he could have anybody, you know what I mean? And like, it's a daunting feeling to have. Like, anybody that can't relate to her is just, I don't know. I felt like, because I'm not a huge fan of her, like, you know, she has like a fan base, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm not a huge fan of her, but I felt so bad that people couldn't even, like, are y'all serious? Y'all can't understand what she's saying? But that was just me because I've dated people that, like, I don't know. I don't feel like I've dated a super megastar, but especially in college, like, you date a guy that plays a sport, and it's like, you know that these girls want to be in your space at any moment. Like, they're looking at you like, yeah, you know? So it's like, that energy will bother you if you're having a conversation and you're actually getting down to it. Like, it's easy to open up and be honest, but people, they're afraid of honesty. Like, they want her to just be so happy to be with, like, no, fuck that. Like, be you. So.
Right. Okay.
That's my take on it. But I know everyone's different, so I'll play like no big deal to me. Like, I'm not a young DJ, so I don't care about proving myself. Like, when I was younger, because it's all guys mostly. Like, and then there would be like that one girl, and then it's like the judgment of her is on you as well. So it's just like, you know, but nowadays, because I'm just so older in it, I don't even think about it. But the other day, they were just like, are you going to play? Are you going to play? They were doing that. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, sure, I'll pay. Well, I'll play. Like, I already got paid. So I went to set up, and my computer didn't connect to, like, this one system, so I had to go to the other system. But again, like, I was already paid, so I did not care about that. Like, it was one of those things where it was like, it was a small event. It was someone else's a gig that they passed on to me. Like, I didn't care. So then when it was time for me to play, like, I just played, and like, I was just doing my thing. Like, it was one of those things where by the time I hooked up to my system, I was like, oh, everyone's judging me. Like, I could feel like
so
everyone.
You're unbothered.
Yeah, I'm unbothered. I'm so unbothered, and it's a gift and a curse because sometimes I'm too unbothered, and then I'm like halfway in, and I'm like, oh shit, I need to like let them know what's up, you know? But in this case, like, I was unbothered, and then the party was a good party, and it was like a lounge, so it was already its own, you know, it was already its own feel. So when I got on, the cool thing about me is that I'm a pretty girl DJ. So when people walk past me, they want to party with me. Like, they want to be a part of what I'm doing. You know, it's the same as if you see a pretty girl just dancing at the club by herself. It's like, hey, what's up with her? Like, hey. So I'm that girl in the DJ booth. So when people walk by me, they're like, oh, okay. And then it just becomes, I don't have to do nothing, you know? Like, I don't have to talk on the mic. I don't have to, like, I don't have big titties or nothing, so I can't do nothing extra like that. Like, I could really only just come as myself and do good.
You actually have the talent.
Yeah, exactly. And that's been my strength. It's so funny because then after the gig, like, the DJs were like, they're like, can I take a picture of you? Like, they were just being so like, and I was like, oh, because y'all probably haven't been with girls that can really rock. Because there's a lot of girl DJs all of a sudden, But like what I've noticed about them is like they're all about the like it's like a dancer that's all about her costume, you know, but not the actual pure like
not the actual dancing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's basically like what it is, even though that's okay because there's a like that's what I realized because at first I used to be like because I come from being judged by guys who judge that like, oh, so you all dressed up but you don't know how to plug it in, like, you know, shit like that. So it's like for me, I learned all the equipment, I got the turntables, like I did all that work. So now when I come in, like you can't judge me, nigga. I know what I'm doing. Like I paid the dues to do this, you know?
Right. You put in the work.
Exactly.
Woman or not, you put in the work and you researched what you needed to do and you're confident in that.
Yeah. I wasn't always though. And that's the thing I realize as I'm saying this to you, like you really have to put in the work or else you won't be confident. Because when I first came into these spaces, that energy of like, bitch, who is you is hard, you know, because you get it from the other girls. Because if you're a girl and you're a DJ that's getting like booked based on being a girl, then when another girl comes, it's like, oh, like, you know, so sometimes you get weird energy from girls and then you get energy from guys. So you really have to just be like, blinders on and just do you and then everyone loves you, you know, because they don't got no choice.
Right.
So.
Right. Wow. So do you think you growing up with brothers and having strong relationships with guys and friendships, do you think that also helped you?
I think so. It's funny because my friend has a daughter who has 2 older brothers, and he also has a daughter that's the only child because there's like 2 different baby mamas. And the little one reminds me of me so much. Like she is a daredevil, and like I see her playing with her brothers, and you know you could just fall back, and your brothers are gonna catch you because you know it's right there. And I do think that fearlessness does come with having men around. I do believe that. Like, and I mean, I just know that from being around my moms are scary sometimes. Oh, don't do this, just because like of, you know, just so whatever. And then you have the males that are like, oh, she'll be okay. So in my growing up, it was dominantly, oh, she'll be okay. And I do think that it made me fearless and it made me not afraid to be with only men. Like, I'm not, like, sometimes it's weird because it's like, I'm not trying to be that girl, but then I realize I'm not that girl, so I don't have to worry about not being her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to, like, I'm gonna be as sexy as I want, and you're still not gonna have a chance with me. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm still who I am. Nothing that you do is gonna affect me. And yeah, I think having brothers really did help, just in how I always viewed men, you know? I used to hear my brothers, they're 10 years older than me, so my whole life I'm hearing them talk about girls, like, you know, they all come to the house after the party, so I'm hearing all these things before I walk into it. So I'm pretty sure that had a big influence on me.